There are two basic motivating forces, fear and love. When we are afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. I believe in everything until it's disproved. So I believe in fairies, the myths, dragons. It all exists, even if it's in your mind. Who's to say that dreams and nightmares aren't as real as the here and now? We've got this gift of love, but love is like a precious plant. You can't just accept it and leave it in the cupboard or just think it's going to get on by itself. You've got to keep watering it. You've got to really look after it and nurture it. Peace is not something you wish for, it's something you make, something you do, something you are, and something you give away. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe that what Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and all the rest said was right. It's just that the translations have gone wrong. When you do something beautiful and nobody noticed, do not be sad. For the sun, every morning is a beautiful spectacle, and yet most of the audience still sleeps. We need to learn to love ourselves first, in all our glory and our imperfections. If we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others or our potential to create. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life. I'm not going to change the way I look or the way I feel to conform to anything. I've always been a freak. So I've been a freak all my life, and I have to live with that, you know. I'm one of those people. Our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. I think we are being run by maniacs for maniacal ends, and I think I'm liable to be put away as insane for expressing that. That's what's insane about it. My role in society, or any artist's or poet's role, is to try and express what we all feel. Not to tell people how to feel. Not as a preacher, not as a leader, but as a reflection of us all. If someone thinks that peace and love are just a cliché that must have been left behind in the 60s, that's a problem. Peace and love are eternal. You're just left with yourself all the time, whatever you do anyway. You've got to get down to your own God in your own temple. It's all down to you, mate. Produce your own dream. It's quite possible to do anything, but not if you put it on the leaders and the parking meters. If everyone demanded peace instead of another television set, then there'd be peace. We live in a world where we have to hide to make love, while violence is practiced in broad daylight. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It matters not who you love, where you love, why you love, when you love or how you love, it matters only that you love. If everyone could just be happy with themselves and the choices people around them make, the world would instantly be a better place. Declare it. Just the same way we declare war. That is how we will have peace. We just need to declare it. Count your age by friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality. Love is a promise, love is a souvenir, once given never forgotten, never let it disappear. Only by trying on other people's clothes do we find what size we are. Nobody controls me. I'm uncontrollable. The only one who controls me is me, and that's just barely possible. For those of you in the cheap seats, I'd like you to clap your hands to this one, the rest of you can just rattle your jewelry. Surrealism had a great effect on me because then I realized that the imagery in my mind wasn't insanity. Surrealism to me is reality. Trying to please everybody is impossible. If you did that, you'd end up in the middle with nobody liking you. You've just got to make the decision about what you think is your best, and do it. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Get out there and get peace, think peace, and live peace and breathe peace, and you'll get it as soon as you like. You're all geniuses, and you're all beautiful. You don't need anyone to tell you who you are. You are what you are. Happiness is just how you feel when you don't feel miserable. As in a love affair, two creative people can destroy themselves trying to recapture that youthful spirit, at 21 or 24, of creating without even being aware of how it's happening. When I was about 12, I used to think I must be a genius, but nobody's noticed. If there is such a thing as a genius, I am one, and if there isn't, I don't care. We live in a world where we have to hide to make love, while violence is practiced in broad daylight. Trying to please everybody is impossible. If you did that, you'd end up in the middle with nobody liking you. You've just got to make the decision about what you think is your best, and do it. If someone thinks that peace and love are just a cliché that must have been left behind in the 60s, that's a problem. Peace and love are eternal. Don't expect Carter or Reagan or John Lennon or Yoko Ono or Bob Dylan or Jesus Christ to come and do it for you. You have to do it yourself. We've got this gift of love, but love is like a precious plant. You can't just accept it and leave it in the cupboard or just think it's going to get on by itself. You've got to keep watering it. You've got to really look after it and nurture it. Christianity will go. It will vanish and shrink. I don't know what will go first, rock and roll or Christianity. We're more popular than Jesus now. Jesus was all right, but his disciples were thick and ordinary. It's them twisting it that ruins it for me.